Good. What if it's competing with, like, say, with the mouse? What's something that might eat the same things as a mouse?
No.
A bird.
A bird, okay. So birds and mice. So if the mouse population suddenly drops, what might happen
The
to
bird increases.
the bird population? Yes, raise your hand, but yes, you're right. Okay, the bird would then increase, right? Because the competition. Good. Yeah, I do
It
it.
would change all of the population of the ecosystem.
Good. The whole ecosystem would be, the balance wouldn't be the same, right? It would be either out of balance. Eventually, it could find balance again, but it wouldn't be in balance immediately. It would be thrown off. Yes, ma'am.
If a population increases, the food source for that population decreases. So if it eats another organism, that organism decreases.
But can you give us an example?
And more hawks that eat snakes.
Okay.
There's a lot of hawks that want to eat snakes.
Okay, good. Exactly. Good, and that's the predator-prey relationship that we talked about. Excellent. Today we are finally starting the ecology project. I will give you your groups, but before I give you the groups, I want to do a little bit of an introduction, which is the paper I just gave you. I didn't put it up on the table of contents yet, but it's number 10. So go ahead to the front side. Let's go ahead and read this. Who wants to read for us? Because this has a little story to kind of do the introduction. Start off, Isa.
The year is 2264. Cannibalism and starvation are rampant. The human species has completely destroyed most of the habitable ecosystem. Long-term sustainability for the human species.
Pause for a second. 8 planets because there's going to be 8 groups in the classroom. Do you understand what's going on so far?
Yes.
We're pretending we're in the future, and Earth is no longer going to be suitable for
It's like
us.
Tyranno.
Kind of, yeah.
I would
Okay.
just kill myself.
Maria, you want to continue reading for us? Remember we talked about biomes last time?
Yes.
Well, for those who are here. So it's going to contain one single biome.
What was the biome?
Tundra.
Yeah, someone raise your hand and tell us, what is a biome determined? There's 2 specific things that kind of determine what a biome, like, determines which biome it is.
Climate and rain.
Okay, good. The climate, which is the rain and the temperature and everything. Your planet is, you're going to make up your name, and your biome is going to be, you're going to get to choose. Okay, so these 2 blanks, you're going to fill in as we start doing the project, when you get your group. So don't worry about, that is the key, guys, that last sentence. In order to be successful and to create a sustainable ecosystem, you must consider everything that you know about ecology and ecological relationships between organisms. Someone raise your hand and tell me, what do I mean when I say sustainable ecosystem?
That a living thing can live in.
Okay, living things can live in it. What more does sustainable mean? Good, it's long-term. Sustainable means long-term. This ecosystem can survive the organisms in it, so the plants, the animals, the decomposers, everything. This ecosystem can last a long time so that we humans can go inhabit the planet. That's the idea. Yeah. Okay, flip to the back side of that paper and it will show what you have to, what the requirements are for this project. So it says you need to design a sustainable ecosystem, which we just talked about, that includes biotic factors. Someone raise your hand, remember, or remind me, what does biotic mean? Joe?
Living.
Good, the living organism. So it says you need at least 15, though you may want organism number 1, your top level consumer, it says Homo sapiens, because the point is you want people to be able to live there. But then organism 2 and organism 3 are both producers, meaning you need to make sure you take some plants with you. Why would that be important? Someone raise your hand and tell us, why would that be important? Rafa?
Like for food.
Okay, yeah, it helps. It's part of the food chain, because the food chain always starts with the producer, right? So you need to make sure you take a producer. Yes, sir.
You're taking things from Earth.
From the biome that your planet has, whichever biome you guys end up choosing, and you have to take plants from Earth that could live on this planet that you're going to. Yeah.
And like the animals are already in the other planet.
No, the animals you're also taking. So it says first level consumers. So you're going to take some animals that eat plants. And then it says second level consumers. You need some animals that eat the animals that eat the plants. Okay? And then you'll need some decomposers, which you'll be able to look all this information up when you start doing your research. And I'm going to be going around to the groups helping you as well. Then look down at B. It says at least 2 examples of predator-prey relationships. At least 1 example of competition between organisms. We talked about both those relationships at the beginning today. And then at least one example of each of the three types of symbiotic relationships: mutualism, commensalism, parasitism. Okay? Any questions thus far?
please, we're gonna take ticks to our plan.
No, you don't have to take ticks. That doesn't have to be the parasite that you take.
Why would you
Why would you want to take a parasite?
Okay, that's a good question. You have to be thinking about that. Okay, see if they're, not all parasites are necessarily bad for everyone. There could be some benefits. Ticks, no. I wouldn't take ticks either. Or botflies.
Or lice.
Or lice, okay? You'll think about it. You guys will do your research, you'll get it. Flip over to the next page. Abiotic factors. So biotic factors is living, abiotic is
Dead.
non-living, okay? The non-living things. It says describe your biome in which you will be attempting to establish a sustainable ecosystem on your new planet. You have to include a description of it. And many of these factors need to be the same as the biome here on Earth, or you can modify them. But if you modify them, say this is how we changed it. And this is why. Because you should include these factors: the length of day and the year. Here we have a 24-hour day, but it doesn't mean your new planet has to have a 24-hour day. So that might affect some of your organisms, okay? You can do whatever you want. Okay, length of year, that might also, you might want to change that. Precipitation, that should be pretty similar to what it is here on Earth. And the temperature should also be very similar. The last part of this is the food web. The last thing you're going to be creating is your food web. So when you're picking your organisms, you have to be thinking of this. How are they going to fit into a food web and help sustain each other and you as the human? Okay? Any questions so far?
Where would you want it?
Like, how are you going to present? That's the next thing. Your presentation styles. You have tons of options for presentation styles. We are being very open on this. We gave you a bunch of examples right here, and I'll let you read those through with your groups. But you can also come up with other ideas. Like I already had one group from second period yesterday who asked to do something different than anything listed here. And so, yeah, they can. It's very open. You can do whatever you want as long as you meet the criteria on these two pages. Biotic factors, abiotic factors, and the food web. Did you have a question, Rafa?
But what did they choose?
They chose to do a diary style, like Spiderwick. Or Spiderwick. If anyone's read Spiderwick book or Spiderwick, I don't know what it's called. Anyway, they're going to do one that's similar to that, and it's like a diary where they talk about the organisms. Just one of the groups. Okay? So are you anxious to know your groups?
Is it of 3 or 2?
So 2 or 3, depending on the group. There are 8 groups, which means 1 group per table, and 2 groups will have to stay in the desk. As soon as I tell you your group, you may go quietly to a table and start deciding on your biome, because it's first come, first serve. So you come and tell me which biome you pick. We have 8 on your biome paper, which is number 9. So be looking at them, which one do you want to do? And then just come up and tell me, and you'll choose your biomes. The first group, Pablo, Alfred, Emilio. Go quietly to a table. Which group hasn't chosen yet? Eastern deserts. Desert is you guys are in the desk somewhere. Find Papa Squad in the desk. Do you guys haven't chosen yet? Desert is what's left. Deserts is a good one. You guys go with that? Make sure you write your name and your partner's name on your list. You can fill it out and put your bio down there, okay?
That would have been
there's so many like things that it's like so easy to find.
we should do. Si quieres el...
Sí.
Okay, do it.
You can have like a moral leash and stuff.
With a breather that transforms.
We
Moral, the biome.
so we have
What borrow now?
Okay, that's fine.
What were you doing?
Rafa, ¿ustedes qué tenían?
Sandra. Ahora somos Borro.
Hay otra mejor.
Okay, so make sure you guys are getting your organisms. You should do your research to figure out what your biome has here on Earth, so that you can pick which organisms you're going to take with you.
What would you probably do video boundaries?
Fantastic. Don't focus on that so much right now. Start getting which organisms you need, and then you can do whatever you want.
Pandora.
I love that idea.
Can we have like polar bears and penguins? Because they
They're both, yeah, even though they're opposite ends, you can bring them together. Because they're the same type of animal.
the polar bears
What do you have so far?
Exactly. Isn't there another Greek god?
No. Who is
What do you guys have so
Sidon?
far?
Poseidon is the same.
Okay.
And I'm
Fantastic.
just looking for characters to become like that.
Good. Perfect.
What is Uranus the god?
If you guys need more iPods, if you have
Yeah,
one,
exactly.
if you need one, there's some over there.
Well then why did
And then
they
start figuring out which organisms you're going to take with you.
Is grass already in the thing?
There's nothing there. You're going to take it with you.
Is grass important?
You decide. Why would it be important?
Do they?
Which one are you, you guys are in Boreal, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So are you for sure taking cows?
No.
Okay.
Who can they from?
What might eat the grass? Okay. And how are rodents going to be important for your ecosystem? Okay. Is that it?
And what it wrote it.
Why would you? Okay. There you go. Now you're thinking more on the right line.
An owl?
Okay. How would an owl be important for you guys as humans?
Because we can hunt it.
No, it's not difícil.
We can hunt it.
Yes, we can.
When you think about what you're going to take, think about how it's going to create this sustainable ecosystem, one that's going to continue going, and how it's going to be beneficial for you. But you have lots of options too, because see all these down here? These are your choice. So
Clarita?
you can bring other things too.
Headphone, black, Claire, immediately and bright.
Because if you know, based on the environment here, that in a grassland temperature and such, the grasslands are going to grass is going to survive. So take something that you know is going to survive.
But we have to specify which grass we're talking about.
Search.
You can find one that lives in a grassland. Okay, you guys start to wrap things up. In a couple minutes, I'm going to have you come back to your seats. Alright, let me have your eyes up here in 3, 2, is that Brano? 1. Okay, what were a couple things you guys learned about your biomes? Let's have 3 people share.
Me?
I don't know, do you have something to share? Go for it. Tell us something that you learned about your biome.
My biome is cold and dry, and mushrooms can also be decomposed.
Good. That's common for most of the biomes. They'll have mushrooms or some sort of fungus. Think about the food in your fridge. When it goes bad, it gets moldy, right? Fungus are huge decomposers. They break things down for us. Yeah.
There are lots of rivers in the temperate rainforest, and there are lots of types. There are several types of trees, like about 5
Okay. Good. When you guys are thinking about what the abiotic factors are on your planet, remember, you don't have to take those with you. Those are kind of the creativity piece. You get to decide what your planet's going to look like, the rocks and the rivers and the water and all that. Okay? I want you guys to tell me about this. What factors did you take into consideration when you were choosing which organisms you're going to take with you? Someone raise your hand and tell us. Go ahead, Zabrano.
The balance over, like, the carnivores and the things they eat.
Okay, the balance between the carnivores and what they eat. Excellent. What else? What other things did you think about? How did you decide which organisms you're going to take and which ones you decided no? Christy?
Which is best for eating, like wheat.
Okay, you were thinking about the humans, the sustainability for the humans. Good. Rocha?
The kind of predators that would not hurt humans but would keep other populations under control.
Okay, excellent. What else? Anything else you guys took into consideration? Make sure that when you're deciding, because I know you don't have all of them chosen, make sure there's a reason why you're taking that organism. Not simply because, oh, it's cool, it's awesome, we want to take that. Make sure there's a reason why, that it adds to the sustainability of your ecosystem, okay? Any other questions about the project? When you come back from Semana Santa, that's when you guys will present your projects. So if you have them done, you can leave them here if it's something that you're making or if it's on your computer, whatever, okay? But it should be done by next Thursday. So will you write that down on the top of your paper, due next Thursday?
So we have to get it done for Thursday.
Yeah, for next Thursday, I want this done. You will have from now until then to work on it, though. So make sure you're bringing the appropriate material that you need. If you're going to use a computer, if you're going to need a camera, if you're going to need, I don't know what. If you're making a model, then you bring the stuff to do the model. But that it's done by next Thursday. I do not want you having it not complete when you go to Semana Santa. Because I can't assign you homework, and that would be horrible for it not to be finished by 10, okay? Any other questions? Okay, good work today. You guys are up.